So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes.
I know I did not just see a video of Cardi B talking about she was surprised that her 3X sold out and that her fat fans are just big as hell and shouldn't have no Chick-fil-A.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
It was just a joke.
Yeah, it is. But I guess the way the woman was kind of addressing her, and I understood that it was a joke, but.
Right.
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food.
I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's never that serious. Like, don't cry about it.
How being bullied and treated online really hurt me. I'm so sorry, the world is so cool. I love you. You were perfect to me.
She ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right?
Face so snatched it could reach the high heavens. I got no match, slaying 24/7.
All about the bass, and it's become an anthem for normal size, plus size girls. But some people have said, "Oh well, you know, you're kind of taking a hit on fat girls." What do you say to that?
No, I wrote the song to help people be comfortable in their own skin. I wrote it for me because I wasn't comfortable. When I wrote it, I was like, "This is what I wish I said and sounded like and felt." It's helped me and it's helped a bunch of people, but yeah, the goal wasn't to bash skinny people. Yeah. No.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
I think a bit of fat shaming is a good thing, a healthy thing.
I think you're wrong. I think that people should be allowed to live their lives without somebody commenting on everything that they do or what they look like.
I've tried everything. Ozempic works because you eat less food.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Fat fab feminists, Tess Holiday, people that I can't really think of anymore because fat acceptance is kind of dying out and nobody really watches these people.
The big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
She did 5 videos talking about the joke, and people just chimed in, and it became a big mess.
She ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Meghan Trainor, Adele, Lizzo, Barbie Ferreira, Rebel Wilson, Jennifer Hudson, Kelly Clarkson. What do all of these women have in common? Well, they were all at one point considered plus size, however misguided that might be. And they all decided to lose weight. Now, if you have been anywhere on the internet more recently, you will have probably noticed that celebrities are shrinking. They are shrinking faster than cotton sweaters on a dry cycle. Everyone from movie stars to influencers and even people such as Meghan Trainor, who swore that she would never be no stick figure silicone Barbie doll, even she is appearing in a more dramatically smaller body. And the whispered common denominator is GLP-1, Wegovy, Ozempic, semaglutide. GLP-1, short for glucose-like peptide, is the superstar hormone behind popular weight loss medications like semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, etc. These drugs essentially help to regulate blood sugar, slow down digestion, and make you feel fuller faster. Translation, you push away that third slice of pizza not because you're being good, but because you genuinely feel full. However, this is a relatively new revolution. Well, the past decade brought in the era of body positivity and health at any size. And fact activism movements that were shouting from every rooftop or Instagram caption, "Curves are the art of nature, and I'm a masterpiece." They were the cultural reset, challenging the conventions of diet industry and diet culture, who would run rampant and had a chokehold on society for centuries. But now, where is that energy? It's not that fat activism has disappeared completely. There are still writers and influencers and communities holding the fort down, but it somehow feels quieter. Maybe because it's become increasingly hard to rally for body acceptance when literally everybody's For You page is showing huge amounts of transformations, before and afters, GLP-1 transformations, weight loss surgery, gastric sleeve, mommy makeovers. So how do you even rally against diet culture when some of the more prominent and important plus size influencers and activists have dramatically lost a lot of weight? Intentionally or not, the movement seems to have lost some momentum. Well, like I said, there are still some people around, and there's even some newer influencers coming into the fray. This is when we get influencers like Samira, who is a plus size activist who is known for championing size inclusivity within mainstream stores, and has somewhat made a name for herself on TikTok as a body positive and fat acceptance advocate. However, more recently, she has had to take an extended break away from the internet due to the level of fat phobia she believes that she has experienced. And who does she believe is influencing this increase in fat phobic hate? None other than musician Cardi B. Now, you're probably thinking what I was thinking when I first heard about the story. What on earth did Cardi B do? Did she call her a whale or something? No. Did she discuss fat people as if they were disgusting? No. Well, what was it? She made a joke about her 3XL t-shirts of her merchandise being out of stock, calling her fans fat fucks. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a horrendous comment to make. But there's an argument that is circulating on TikTok that she was just having a joke with friends. So where does the line go? What started off as an inside joke between Cardi B and her fans turned into a massive discussion about fat phobia. And this story has taken legs and walked all over TikTok and all the way straight over to mainstream media, because even now radio and news anchors are literally talking about this specific incident. Because the very vocal few see what Cardi B said as fat phobic. But was it truly fat phobic? And does Cardi, a woman who presents as skinny despite her obvious enhancements, does she have the right to make fat jokes? And if what Samira has experienced is fat phobia, where on earth are all of the body positivity advocates? How comes none of the pioneers within the body positive movement have come to support Samira? Why did Samira feel so bad that she even had her own mother come onto TikTok crying in defense of her daughter? Yes, girl, her mom came to TikTok crying. But ultimately, besides her mom, where was Samira's support? Because once upon a time, when a fat activist was pioneering against fat phobia, there would be at least 10 fat influencers who, with their combined following, would draw attention to the fat phobia it is that one person within the community was experiencing. So where were the Virgie Tovars, the Tess Holidays, the Ashley Grahams, the Glitters and Lasers? So that led me to ask, where did all the fat activists go?
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Samira is a New Orleans-based singer, content creator, actress, and activist. She combines soulful music with unapologetic body positivity. The girl is pretty as fuck, and she is not to be played with when it comes to her singing. She can sing. That girl can sing her ass off. The first time I came into contact with Samira's content was on TikTok, when she had that viral song talking about plus sizes. I think it is called Plus Sizes, where she made a whole song that started off a trend, which was basically directly asking stores and storefronts to stock plus sizes within the store and not forcing plus size people to have to order their stock online. Now, this is a problem that many plus size people experience where we will go into a store, we will ask for a particular size because we know that they have that size available on the website, but it's never in the store and we have to just go forth and order it online. And whilst that is extremely annoying, I would also argue that this is the same for a lot of secular groups. I have a friend who is 6'2" and there are never any jeans that are tall enough for her. And if she wants to buy tall jeans, she has to order online. I've got friends of mine who are extremely petite and some stores do not stock petite items within the store and you have to purchase it online. And as a girl with some massive size J titties, I can't go into a store and find a bra. I have to order my bras, ding, 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 online. So this isn't just an issue that plus size people face. This is an issue that a lot of people in secular groups face. But I am all for size inclusivity when it comes to fashion. So I listened and I watched and I really thoroughly enjoyed this viral movement of the plus sizes song, watching people use the sound and sing about their own shopping experiences.
This big back bitch don't come to play, and this big back bitch gon' slay all day. This big back bitch don't want your man, but this big back bitch in high demand. Ooh, bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.
Samira had started a movement, but her advocacy didn't stop there. She also did a series of which she encouraged plus size people to try on items in stores if they think they can fit it. Because clothing store sizes aren't standardized, and what may fit a size 20 in one store may only fit a size 16 in another. So without us really being able to regulate like what size is the correct size to go for, try it on and see if it fits. If the clothing or the fabric seems as if it has a little bit more give, then try that bitch on.
One thing about fat people, we gon' get creative. This is the skirt, okay? Are you with me? Are you with me? This is the skirt. It's a size medium from Urban Outfitters, okay? I know my current fit is giving very much Clover, so 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Let's get into the scrap. And by scrap, I mean skirt, crop top. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You can't tell me this not a crop top. You can't tell me that this was ever a skirt. And also, we got that detailing on the side. Then if I swing-a-ling-a-ling to the back, you can't tell me this not a crop top.
And I love that movement that she created, because why not try these things on? I think as plus size people, we can sometimes get a little bit like scared or terrified or nervous even to like try clothes on within a store, because we don't want to feel the disappointment of, you know, not being able to fit that specific garment. But if you're constantly trying clothes on all of the time, like that fear is going to be so far away from your mind. If you don't hold any expectation for the item of clothing to fit, then why don't you just try it on and see? And I think we should all be encouraging more people to have more fun with fashion. So I thoroughly enjoyed that movement. You probably are wondering what it is that I'm doing right now. I am layering this. This is a shit sandwich because we're going to get to some not so great things. Samira would also make other videos where she would go into stores and ask them about why they don't have the sizes available within the storefront. She would encourage some of these people to contact corporate and to let corporate know that this is what plus size people want. Plus size people have money too, and if their clothes were in stores, they would try these clothes on because they are willing to spend said money. Because ultimately, if I have to order online, I am less likely to order a particular garment online because I have to order 3 sizes of this garment, because as we already know, sizes aren't standardized. So I have to order 3 sizes of this item to find the one that potentially fits, to send the other 2 back. And I can't speak for anyone in the United States of America, but over here in the United Kingdom, we even had some clothing brands put out policies that there was like a certain cap on returns, because these online shopping stores were losing thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds due to people returning items so frequently. But again, people wouldn't return items if they had been able to try the items on. So the life of a plus size girly who is attempting to do online shopping is ordering multiple items in multiple sizes of the exact same garment. So I love the fact that Samira was advocating properly in stores, letting the people know that this is what we want. Encouraging staff who probably wouldn't have usually have thought about inclusivity in that way, challenging them to actually think about how it must be to be a person not being able to purchase anything. However, a few months ago, I saw something from Samira that really just turned me off. Samira was going to be doing a 5K and was looking for some athletic wear to wear for the run. She went to various different stores to see if they stocked any of her size in athletic wear, but her problem was that the 5K race was the following day. And with her being familiar with the notion that so many stores do not stock her size, I was kind of confused as to why she had left it so late.
Hi, I was having trouble finding the plus size activewear.
We don't have it.
Nope.
All the activewear is here, but we don't have the plus sizes.
Okay. Are there just like no plus sizes at all at this Macy's?
Yes. Even the clothing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see if we can order it for you.
I need it for this weekend. I'm doing a 5K. I just came from Fabletics and they didn't have anything either. Yeah. It's okay. I'll just keep looking. Thank you.
Yeah, they took out the plus sizes.
I don't know why they did that.
Even the gowns and everything.
As if we don't wear dresses. Thank you.
So as you can imagine, not a lot of places actually stocked her size. And some did stock her size, but it wasn't in items that she actually wanted. She attempted to fit into like 1X or 2X clothing that the store had available in an item that she really liked. However, after trying on this item, it just didn't fit. It was a no-go. To be honest, she should have been able to look and say there's absolutely no chance in hell, but good on her for trying, I guess.
Pardon? I'm doing a 5K this weekend. Do y'all have this set in a 3X?
This color is not available.
Okay. Do you have anything in the 3X? Do you have any like returns? I'll try a 2X legging.
Too tight. It's full.
They did not pass the test. It's time to go. Victoria's Secret got activewear? Didn't they just have plus size models on their runway? Let's go see. I'm looking for a set for a 5K that I'm doing tomorrow. Sick of wearing black. The blue is pretty. Usually on the bottom, I'm like a 3 or 4X. And on the top, I'm like a 3. I can maybe do a 2X, but I don't know about an XXL.
It's a 2X.
What's an XXL?
It's not the same.
No. The 2X is a plus size, but that's like not a plus size.
Okay. Do you want to try it on?
In my drawers. Ouch. The color is cute though. Now Victoria's Secret.
However, the staff at the store, who have absolutely no control over the stock, they were extremely accommodating and asked her if she would like to order in the item in her specific size to the store for her to collect.
I'm doing a 5K this weekend. I just want like a cute set. Ideally a 4X.
A 4X. Okay, so I'm completely sold out in all 4Xs in every single color for this particular style.
What about a 3?
They're all sold out. I'm starting online.
Oh, is there like no pink or purple? Yeah, I don't mind trying that. Yeah.
The color's cute, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to get this situated. Yeah, I think if this was like bigger. So just talk to the sales associate. She's gonna call another location and see if they have this in a 4X.
Sold out. No worries, thank you.
But again, the 5K was the next day, so she left with nothing. But this was kind of disheartening for me to see the first time I watched this, because one of the things it is that people love to say about plus size people is that we're lazy and we don't give a crap about our health. We don't work out and we don't want to change our physical health. And here we have a woman attempting a 5K and is going into all of these stores and is finding absolutely nothing to wear. So they don't want to glorify obesity so much that even stores that are for athletic wear can't stock plus sizes. So do you want us to work out or not? Then the following day, I see that Samira is actually running the 5K. And in the videos it is that she posted of her 5K, I could see that Samira was in a blue yoga suit kind of thing with matching like top and bottoms. But not only were the top and bottoms like a close match in color, but also that her friend who she was running the race with also had the exact same color on with the exact same set, it looks like.
You know, some days you just wake up and want a medal. Some days you just wake up and want a medal. If I want it, I get up on it. And today, I got up on it, Baba. Come on. Come on. 5K. The easy way. Easy. Nature made. Great race. Today. Right now. You know the place. It's what I say. It's what I pray. It's what I play.
So then I was like, hold on, did you make all of those videos going through all of these athletic wear stores asking for certain sizes just for content? Did you create a inconvenience for store shop assistants for clout, for views? That's not activism, that's performative. So this led me to believe that if she had a matching set and the matching set matched her friend, then likely this entire situation was just created for views. These outfits were likely planned way in advance. I mean, she probably would have known that she was running a 5K ahead of the 5K. So the urgency of needing athletic wear for the 5K is not as pressing as she made it appear to be. And again, this is not activism. This is performative. This is performance art. Okay? I have a degree in it. But then I saw some content from a content creator called Funty Times. By the way, sis, thanks for the screenshot because I never saw this online. But they found out that Samira had posted, when somebody asked the question about like where she got her items from, Samira had posted that she had gotten her items from Old Navy and Dick's Sporting Goods. But then Funty goes on to show receipts of Samira doing an Old Navy clothing haul, specifically looking for athletic wear, but 3 months prior. Meaning that this idea that she didn't have nothing to wear was bullshit, because she literally purchased a set of clothing from Old Navy 3 months ago.
Samira is known for posting videos of her clothing shopping, and she has gone to Old Navy to get athletic wear before. In fact, back in January, she did a huge Old Navy athletics haul.
Wait, I'm actually obsessed with this color. Like, am I going to Pilates in this? I like this. And it don't fall. It don't fall. Finding purple plus size in store is unheard of. This is it. This is it. Hello, pickleball. Y'all, the pleats. Whoa, now wait a minute. Cause if I'm finally about to get a cute little beige set, it's over. See what happens when you have cute plus sizes in store? They sell.
Great. So she found a matching set in her size 3 months ago. Why couldn't she wear that to the race? Why was there this big push to go to the stores, film yourself talking to staff, and trying on clothes that you know don't fit you when you already had outfits at home?
It's a case of she had something to wear, but she didn't like what it is that she had to wear, and is now just stressing out an already overstretched, forgive the pun, workforce, whilst having a matching set most likely ready to go with her best friend who is about to do the 5K with her, that she likely knew about months ahead of time and could have potentially planned around. For me, this was ultimately the nail in the coffin. Manufactured experiences for advocacy doesn't sit right with me. It does suck that plus size clothing isn't readily available. And I agree that she should point that out and call it out when she sees it. But purposely creating nuisance for content, to me at least, is akin to somebody who goes around playing pranks on, service workers who are just trying to do their job and most likely not getting paid nearly half the amount in that particular workday that you probably made from your video. So that was my introduction to Samira. And after that point, I just got completely turned off. Despite me, fundamentally to a degree, I agreed with her ethos, but her methods, they were questionable. So how did this girl end up coming back onto my timeline? Well, this is because Samira ended up having an argument publicly with the artist known as Cardi B.
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Okay, so this whole thing started with a joke. Now, Cardi B, the multi-platinum selling artist, I don't need to tell you who she is, but she is coming out with a new album, which is her sophomore album, her long-awaited sophomore album. And as part of promotion for this album, as well as to get some pre-sales generated ahead of time, Cardi B is combining merchandise with her album in order to increase sales of the album. She has been doing these merch drops for quite some time. I think I ended up getting the first merch drop, which was like a Cardi B t-shirt and like a signed CD or some shit. But the third merch drop that Cardi B ended up doing was a collaboration between Cardi B and WWE, as Cardi B ended up being the host for the WWE Summer Splash. Now, obviously, with the amplification of this promotion with WWE and all of that kind of stuff, a lot of it sold out almost immediately. One of the first things to sell out was the 3XL size t-shirts for the Summer Splash X Cardi B collaboration. Now, what started happening online on Twitter was that the Barbs, Nicki Minaj's fan group, who are always at loggerheads with Body Gang, who is Cardi B's fan group, they started making jokes stating that Body Gang was fat. They were big back, etc., because they were selling out of the 3XL first before any of the rest of the sizes. When I was having a look to see if I was remembering this situation correctly and if it did originally start with Barb's rather than Cardi's own fan base, I could trace it back to approximately the 1st of August, which is when those kind of jokes started getting made. Because one thing that it is that I saw on social media was a lot of people saying, oh, it was Cardi's fans who started that joke. I was like, no, it actually wasn't. It was the Barbs that started that joke. But it was actually Cardi B's fans who kind of took it on, laughed at themselves in a self-deprecating way. So after a few days of this joke that was created again by the Barbs, who were closely monitoring what Cardi B's doing for some bizarre reason, instead of allowing this joke to upset Body Gang, what they did was embrace it, laughed and giggled in the face of this joke. Now, Cardi B, it's no secret that she has a close relationship with her fans. She even has a group on Instagram called Body Gang Secret Society where she posts updates frequently for her fans. So it's no surprise to me that Cardi B was likely aware of this joke that was swirling around. So on a live stream where she was talking about her merchandise, she says the following.
But anyways, so what I wanted to tell y'all was that let me just open now. Oh, Jesus Christ. What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes. Now, knowing that my fans is fat, I can't even make fun of fat people no more. Don't call me fat phobic, y'all, because everybody make fun of my BBL. So don't be, y'all. I could body shame people because y'all body shame me. If y'all body shame me, I could body shame y'all. This is a body shaming. This is a body shaming space. This is a body shaming shit. This is a body shaming space. You can talk about my body and I talk about yours. So it doesn't matter. If I call you fat, it's not a big deal. You can talk about my BBL all day, but I've been talking about you being fat all day.
Okay, so if we follow the timeline, Nicki Minaj's fans said the joke. Body Gang decided that they were going to keep the joke because they found it funny and made self-deprecating jokes about themselves. Cardi B repeats the joke, and then comes Samira, who decided that she was going to make numerous different videos talking about Cardi B and her inherent fat phobia.
I don't know if my eyes and ears are deceiving me because I just woke up, but I know I did not just see a video of Cardi B talking about she was surprised that her 3X sold out and that her fat fans are just big as hell and shouldn't have no Chick-fil-A. And now she can't make fun of fat people no more because she knows she got fat fans because the 3XL sold out. Didn't you do a song with Lizzo? Didn't you perform at Liz? I just know I must be tripping.
Okay, so after that first video, Samira then went on to make another video talking about the lack of size inclusivity for merchandise. It seems as if the goalpost has somewhat been moved to a degree, because to begin with, we were talking about fat phobia and just the fact that Cardi B even said anything of that nature, to now it being about plus size people not even being able to buy merchandise, despite Cardi B's line going up to a 3XL. I mean, I wouldn't consider it the most size inclusive line there is, but if it was about what was said rather than the size inclusivity of the line itself, like, which one is it? We need to pick a struggle.
Look, if this is what gets us to finally talk about artist merch and the lack of consideration for plus size fans, then so be it. Because the number of times that I have attended concerts and not been able to purchase a lick of merch is a problem. And it wasn't because they had sold out. It's because nobody considers plus size fans. And of course, access to plus size clothing is a problem everywhere. But it truly does baffle me, especially in music, because do you think plus size people don't listen to your songs? Like, do you really think you don't have plus size fans? And you know, it's not just merch. It's also like any clothing collabs that artists do. They never consider their plus size fans. Everything stops at an XL or an XXL, which is not a plus size. Go to Google before you comment something silly. But like, yeah, it's just a complete lack of consideration. And then when you do attempt to have a 3XL, which is also not a plus size, again, Google is free. And then you go and pair it with fat phobic comments like the ones Cardi B made. It's really just like, even when you think you're being considered, you're not. And all that said, it's not that hard to have plus size merch. And it's also not that hard to not be fat phobic.
So Cardi B decided to respond after this lady had made 2 videos now, you know, with Cardi B's name being involved and people talking about Cardi B being fat phobic and the Barbs really enjoying that Cardi B is now getting dragged for being fat phobic, so rallying behind to amplify this whole entire situation. So Cardi B ended up coming onto her platform and basically saying, dude, you need to chill out, it's not that deep, I promise you.
Oh my gosh. So I have like a whole bunch of people crying, talking about I'm fat phobic and stuff, because I don't know, on Twitter it was like a joke between me and my fans on like, damn, you fat motherfuckers, why y'all bought all the 3X that fast? It was an innocent joke between me and my fans. But anyways, it's not that serious. And especially when it comes to me, I make fun of everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're fat, skinny, BBL down, got big feet, got small feet, whatever, as long as you don't stink, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn, you know what I'm saying? It's never that serious. Like, don't cry about it. Listen, people make fun of my BBL all the time. If we're gonna be using these phobic words and everything, then I'm gonna do a BBL phobic word, because I get fun of more of having a BBL than you probably may get fun of being big. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious, girl. Like, if you, it got to the point that like when people would talk shit about my body, I don't even care no more. You wanna know why? Because I'm content with how I look, and I'm not laying in that table no more. I'm 33 and I'm old as fuck, and I got shit to do. I can't take 2 months off no more. I can't take 2 months off no more because I got surgery and like I gotta wear a faja for like 6 months. If I got y'all so upset, here's a cupcake. I'm not gonna apologize though, because y'all fucking sensitive and wanna cry about some dumb shit. Every day y'all wanna cry about some fucking dumb shit. Shit, I'm gonna cry every single time I wear a fucking leotard, because every time I wear a leotard, y'all want to talk about my hips and my ass. Okay, like it's not that serious, girl. Like, it's not that serious. Like, don't pay attention to me. Okay, I'm like one of them old school people that just make fun of everything. I make fun of everybody. Shit, I make fun of myself. I make fun of my own motherfucking kids. I make fucking fun of my own mama. I make fun of my own daddy. I make fun of my damn fucking self. Bitch, my man probably can't even stand me. I make fun of him all the time too. So just don't cry, okay? Shit.
So after sitting down and saying, I have my own insecurities, I'm never going on the surgery table, I'm getting too old for that, maybe not coming out and outright apologizing, but also acknowledging the issues it is that she herself suffers with body image, Samira comes back and makes another video that I personally think is the worst one that shows her character. because immediately she went straight to attacking Cardi B's insecurities in actually a very vile and vicious way. Take a look.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they. But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fat phobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy that your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans. But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fat phobia and standing up for them instead of standing against them.
So then after Samira came back again and said, you know, here, I'm going to educate you, have some of these books on fat phobia and, you know, get your knowledge up, sis. She then decides to make another video going into what I believe to be a bookstore to see if there's any more educational resources that she presumably wants to help Cardi with her education on to do with fat phobia. Just taking things once again just to the umpteenth degree. Take a look.
I was wondering if there's anyone that could help me find some books on like fat phobia, weight stigma, diet culture. Do you have Fearing the Black Body, Sabrina Strings, What We Don't Talk About When We Talk About Fat, Aubrey Gordon, Belly of the Beast, Deshaun Harrison?
I have this one called Unshrinking.
Oh, I have that one. Man is the last name?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Fat Talk one is interesting. I haven't seen that one before. Thank you so much.
So Cardi B decides to turn around and tell Samira she's not apologizing, nor is she going to read up and educate herself on fat phobia because quite frankly, we have bigger fish to fry.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because...
Girl, shut the fuck up. God damn, shut up already. Like, it's not that serious. Not everything is revolutionary. Not everything has to have a crazy outrage. I already did a video. I told you it's not that serious. Like, what do you want me to do? Get on my fucking knees and apologize? I'm not apologizing for a fucking jokey joke. That it wasn't even about you. It was something about me and my fans. Like, that's it. I don't care. I'm not apologizing. I'm not getting on my knees. No, I'm not reading a book. No, I'm not nothing. You see, like, sometimes when people are being genuine, y'all don't like when people are being genuine. Because I genuinely did a video like, hey, it's not that serious. I make fun of everybody. I even make fun of myself. I don't really care if you skinny, if you big, if you that, if you this. I always use anybody as the butt of the joke, like, all the time. Like, it ain't never to hurt nobody. Like, it's like, people make fun of me all the time. I got to the point that I don't even care anymore because it's like, who cares? Love yourself. If you're content with yourself, you don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. Like, it's like what? Like, if you're part of my family, bitch, you will be crying. You will be crying. They make fun of everything and everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. And then it's like, when you push, it makes people remember, like, you know what? Eat one. Like, it's like, no, it's not good enough. No, it's not this. You want a fake apology? You want a fake I'm sorry? You want a fake kissing ass? You want a fucking fake gift basket? Girl, like, calm down. Calm your pussy. Now you pissing me the fuck off. And now you're going to make me really say some rude shit for no reason. Or because I did a video. I already explained it. I'm not giving you a fake apology. I'm not getting on fake on my knees. I'm not fake doing nothing. That's the reason why y'all be expecting too much. I'm not your mom. I'm not nothing. I'm not nothing. My fans didn't feel offended. My fans were actually making the jokes with me. about themselves. What the hell? Whatever the fuck you got going on with yourself, with your how you feel about yourself, girl, don't put that on me.
Then after this, Samira then decided that she was going to be taking a break by making her 5th post where she states the following. When I spoke about Cardi B's fatphobic comments, I did so respectfully with the hope of encouraging her to think about the impact of her words on her plus size fans. Her choice to respond by telling me to shut the fuck up and to calm my pussy was vulgar, dismissive, and escalated the issue entirely. I am no stranger to fatphobic harassment in my comments and DMs, but Cardi B's direct comments towards me have encouraged a new level. By speaking to me in that way publicly, she once again signaled to millions of people that this kind of language and violence towards fat women is unacceptable. I still stand by everything that I said in that video, especially her being talented and powerful. I truly do wish the best for her. However, for my own peace, I will be taking a small step back from posting for a while I focus on my mental health. But make no mistake, I will never stop advocating for plus size people to be treated with dignity and respect. Bye-bye. And since this day, we have not seen Samira since, except for me. I literally posted that I was going to be making a video about this, with a deeper concept of my thoughts on TikTok, and I got blocked by Samira. I can't do shit, bitch. So she may have been taking a break from Cardi B and Cardi B's people. Sorry, I had to adjust the wig. She may have been taking a break from Cardi B and Cardi B's people, but she sure as fuck wasn't taking a break from me, bitch. But then, as if things couldn't get even more hyped up, Samira's mother enters the chat and makes an entire video, tears streaming down her face, talking about her baby, which I understand, girl. I'm a mom too. I would fight about mine as well. Yeah, the way I would come in so disrespectful if it was my kids. She was a very respectful mother, because I know I would have been with the utmost disrespect if that was my baby, but I digress, right? The mom comes online, she's crying and telling people, she's such a good person. Girl, just watch the video. Watch the video and we'll come back and talk.
To my daughter Samira, I came from an event, and to see how you being bullied and treated online really hurt me. I'm so sorry the world is so full. I love you. You are perfect to me, and you deserve a love and respect. Mommy loves you and I'm always going to be your biggest defender and your biggest protector.
So then, as if things couldn't even get any more worse, Cardi B decides to hop online and she decides to address the mother and say sorry, but also reiterates once again, she ain't apologizing for shit. She's not doing it because it will be a completely insincere apology, which, I kind of respect. But this is what Cardi B had to say. Take a look.
Okay. So this will be the last time that I address this topic, because now I'm getting on this app and this app is not even fun anymore. I'm getting on this app to watch ASMR and I'm getting attacked from left to right. So this will be the last video that I make on this. The fact that I was making a joke between me and my fans was joking on Twitter how they sold out the 3X large shirts. And my fans was like, damn, us Barty getting big. Damn, we can never make big jokes no more because we big, blah, blah, blah. So, I made an open form joke with them because it's supposed to be funny. And, this woman, she inserted herself in the joke. You know what I'm saying? She did 5 videos talking about the joke. And people just chimed in and it became a big mess. So I did a video and I said, hey, this was not to hurt your feelings. This was a joke between me and my fans. I always make anybody the butt of the jokes. I make fun of everybody, everybody. I don't care if you skinny. I don't care if you big. I don't care about nothing. It's not that serious. And the video still wasn't good enough. Now you're recommending me Since the video wasn't good enough for you, you recommended me to go read a fat phobic book. And it's like, baby girl, I'm not going to take 5 or 6 hours of my day to read a book about fat phobia when I could take 5 or 6 hours of my day to watch a documentary and see how the government successfully killed thousands of people just so they could migrate them out their space to gentrify the community they were born in, and educate myself on how can they do this again, because history repeats itself. I'd rather do that. Now, I am not going to give an apology. And you want to know why I'm not going to give an apology? Because I wasn't insulting you. And if I'm giving you an apology, it will be fake and forced. And you wouldn't want somebody to give you something that is forced and is not coming from the heart. I genuinely did my first video to tell you that I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. This was something between my fans that you inserted yourself in. That was genuine. If I say sorry, it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be real, because I didn't intend to insult you or insult anybody. There has been 300, like, can you believe that there's like 300 videos about this topic when there's so many things going on in this world? There's so many things going on in this country. I can't even believe that I made 3 videos in 1 week about this topic. It's not a big deal. It's really not. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Yes, I understand fat phobia. Some people have body dysmorphia. There's a lot of people that have body dysmorphia. When I was a little girl, when I was young, I used to hate that I had a flat ass. And it used to depress me. It used to depress me that I had a flat ass. What are we going to do about it? And then on top of that, in the real world, when somebody insults you, you cannot make them give you an apology. And they're not going to. The real world, when you go outside, when you touch grass. TikTok and stuff, maybe you could force somebody to give you an apology and make you feel better and get on their knees and be like, I apologize. And to your mom, ma'am, I am a mother and I'm sorry that you feel that way about this situation. It shouldn't have gotten this far. Maybe that's why your daughter shouldn't have made 6 videos about it. To the point that people start picking on me and trying to hurt my feelings. But I'm not going to let nobody hurt my feelings. I don't care. I apologize to you because you're a mom. And I don't want to bring no tears to no mom ever. So I'm apologize to you. Maybe this situation could be solved a different way. But I'm not giving an apology. And I'm not reading a book about fat phobia, bro. I understand. I get it. But it's just that. I really wish that by today this topic gets laid to rest, because it's ridiculous and it's gonna be a revolving topic. If you making fun of me make y'all feel better, if calling me all type of illiterate, all type of BBLs, all type of my butt, all type of this make y'all feel better, then go ahead, do that. I didn't mean to offend nobody. So if y'all feel like y'all gotta offend me to make yourself feel better, then do that. I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feelings neither. If y'all feel like hurting my feelings was gonna make y'all feel better, then do that. But one thing about it is, this not gonna keep being a topic. And that's just that.
Then to finish things off, Cardi B, after all of the backlash was just getting, I guess, too much. And I mean, it was getting covered by mainstream media and all of this kind of stuff. She decided that she was no longer going to be going live to do anything else but promote music, which is so sad. It's like I X'd out the fans of like Cardi B from being able to enjoy their favorite artists. I'm finding out as time goes on, especially as a fan of like women's rap. So like, I love myself some Doja Cat. I love myself some Cardi B. I even enjoy Nicki Minaj, but I mean, I can't enjoy her fully properly anymore. Flo Milli, Lotto, like I love all of the rap girlies, quite frankly. But I've even noticed that a lot of these artists, because they're constantly being picked apart all the time, are no longer having one-on-one moments with their fans anymore, that close grossness that we used to see with like Lady Gaga in the Monster era, and even Nicki Minaj in like the early 2012s, where they would constantly be corresponding with their fans. Rihanna was another great example of that. We're just not seeing that anymore. And it's because that parasocial relationship has got to like a really weird and deranged place. But I digress. That's not what I was here to talk about. But Cardi B then decides to come back, and she decides to leave her post saying that she ain't doing this no more. This is what she had to say. I promise you guys, I'm not going live no more on social media unless it's about my music. I have so many different things going on in my personal life, and I cannot allow this app to also take a toll on my mental health. Y'all have taken an innocent joke with my fans and used it as an excuse where y'all are insulting me every which way and saying the nastiest things about me, all in the name of pushing your narrative. I could take my publicist's advice and just apologize, but that wouldn't be authentic to myself. I wasn't trying to insult anybody or hurt anybody's feelings at all. I promise you, I don't care how anyone looks. I only care how you carry yourself as a person. I hope you guys accomplish whatever it is you were trying to accomplish. Thank you so much. Heart. Now, this left me in a bit of a weird place because both players have decided to take a break, or at least remove themselves from that side of social media for a period of time. I didn't really know where I stood. On one hand, isolated without any context whatsoever to know that this was a joke that was started by the Barbs, that had developed, and then they had a little kiki moment and laughed about it as a fan group. Without that additional context, isolated on its own, was Cardi B's comments calling her fans who bought out the XXL or XXL t-shirts fatphobic. Yes, I believe that it was 100% fatphobic to call your fans fat fucks. But I would also say that if you were to listen to some of the things it is that Samira has said in isolation, they would also be considered as fatphobic. But does it not come across as fatphobic because Samira is big? Like, for instance, the plus sizes song it was that I was talking about in the previous chapter. These are some of the lyrics of the song. They said, big back bitch, get to the back. They said, big back bitch, you want a snack? Well, this big back bitch, she got the stack. So put big back bitch clothes on the racks. In her own song, she's literally saying the word big back, which I would say is a fatphobic slur to a degree. Calling somebody a big back, that is a fatphobic slur. And then she's also putting it in there with, do you want a snack? So again, when I present this to you, you have on one hand, Cardi B saying, damn, you sold out all the 3XLs. Y'all motherfuckers can't eat no more. And then you've got somebody else who's turned around and said, well, they're calling us big back. Well, big back, do you want a snack? And they've put it into a song. So then my question was, is it just a case that Cardi B is not fat presenting, therefore cannot make a fat joke? Like in the same way that, like, you know, black jokes are funny when told by a black comedian, but black jokes aren't funny when they're told by a white comedian kind of vibes? So to explore that more, I really just wanted to see what the fallout was. Like, what were people really saying about this?
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
So the conversation online has been extremely split. On one hand, we have people who are saying that Cardi B was making an inside joke that was not understood by the general public at large. On the other hand, we have other people who are saying Cardi B's joke, whether intentional or not, was fatphobic, and that Cardi B should be more conscious with her words and her influence in the future. And on the third hand, because apparently we have three hands now, we have people who are just like, the world is getting overly sensitive with jokes. Can we not laugh anymore? So here's a couple of clips of what everybody has had to say. I've put them and I've tried to condense them as much as possible, but I want you to really get a feel for what the TikTok community have been saying since all of this dropped. Take a look.
Now let's get into the whole situation with Cardi B and her, right? So Cardi B had an inside joke with her plus size fans that started off of Twitter by the plus size fans, okay? And then Samira decided to insert herself in said conversation due to her personal experiences. She felt offended, she felt triggered, and so she decided to speak up. Not only did she insert herself, but she was passive aggressive as she did it, addressing Cardi B, talking about, didn't you do a song with Lizzo? Didn't you do this? Didn't you do that? I know Cardi B didn't do this. Doing all of that, right? Again, about a situation that had nothing to do with her. Absolutely nothing to do with her. Now, some people are going to say, but she's an advocate. That's what she does. That's her job. Okay, cool, copy. Cardi B responds and lets her know, hey, listen, it's not like that at all. This is actually where the joke stemmed from. I didn't even start it. My plus size friends, my plus size fans started it. And this is literally just how we joke. They get my humor, I get their humor. It's not like that at all, right? Instead of allowing the conversation to be what it was, a misunderstanding, Samira decided to double down and responded to Cardi B's response, talking about just because people make a joke, you don't have them to make a joke. It's almost as if she wanted an apology from Cardi B. She didn't want actual explanation or reason because she got it. Cardi B gave her an explanation, let her know that the joke is between her and her fans, that the joke started from her fans and nobody else is offended. Please leave it alone. It has nothing. It's not like that at all. She continued and doubled down. Why? Because I personally believe she wanted an apology. She wanted an apology. Why? Because she got triggered. She probably had some instances like this in her past where she didn't actually advocate for herself or spoke up for herself. And so now she's choosing to do it, and she's doing it with somebody like Cardi B.
And the problem with Cardi B saying what she said, she's not part of the community. Now, if I would have went to her website, because I believe she's selling the shirt, I don't know, but had I went to her website and I saw my size was sold out, and I got here on this app and said, you fat motherfuckers done sold out the 3X, I could say that because I'm a fat motherfucker. I was going to the website to find the 3X my own self, so you know I'm part of the community. I could holler at the fat bitches who beat me to the website. Y'all see the difference? A lot of people like, oh, it was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke, but it wasn't for her to make, you know?
I know that Samira made a video. I saw that. I've seen a couple other people make videos saying that like it was just a joke and not serious. And I don't really want to focus on what Cardi B even really said or if it was a joke, because that's not really the focus in my opinion. For me, the focus is when you release merch, typically it does not go up to a 3X. So I am sure that if people saw it was available in a 3X, people fucking bought that shit quickly. So it's something that is scarce. It's something that people need because typically in my comment section, people who own small businesses that carry plus sizes say that a 3X and a 2X usually sell out first. The average American woman is like a size 16 to 18. So let's say you want to size up because you're not sure of the size, or you want something oversized. All of this adds up and makes a lot of sense. I just wish people would apply that logic to the rest of the fashion industry.
Not gonna lie, seeing a whole bunch of plus size folks going, oh, I'm plus size, and what Cardi B said I found funny, it gives I'm black and I found what this racist motherfucker said was funny. Or I'm a woman and I found this misogynistic joke funny. It gives that. I know I'm not in the plus size community. I know I'm not considered plus size, but I had to say it because it is so cringe. Just like I cringe when motherfuckers be like, oh, I'm black and I found this racist joke to be funny, or I'm a woman and I found this to be funny. Just like I cringe when motherfuckers say that shit, I'm cringing at this. Babes, you are outright pretty much saying, I've accepted the fact that I am an oppressed person in this goddamn world, and if you can't beat them, motherfucking join them. That's what it gives, that you have accepted being the fucking punching bag.
This entire Cardi B and Samira, if I'm saying her name properly, situation is just so weird to me. Because Cardi B fans were saying, oh, it was just a joke, it was just a joke, she was joking with her fans. But when Matt Rife made a joke about domestic violence, it wasn't just a joke. We canceled that man because we understood that some things are not to be joked about. You don't punch down on domestic violence victims. But when it comes to Cardi B, it is just a joke. Okay.
I guess we can't have fun anymore at this point.
I was unaware of the whole Cardi B versus Samira situation where Cardi B made a funny joke about, oh, y'all some fat fucks because you like sold out all the their exes first, blah 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 blah. I thought the joke was funny as someone who is fat because I don't know. I make inappropriate jokes all the time myself, so it's like that shit didn't like, oh my god, she's making fun of fat people. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, that was funny. Like, oh my god, y'all some fat as fucks. Like, no Chick-fil-A for you, no Taco Bell for you, bitch. No more Wendy's, double deckers. Like, that's funny. I'm sorry, that was funny. Ooh.
So the diversity of so many different people's opinions led me to be even more confused because I can understand impact over intent, that it doesn't matter what you intended if the impact was greater, and how it makes the particular community feel. If that's detrimental to them, then yeah, it's probably best to just come forward and just own that shit and apologize. But on the opposing side, knowing the context of where this joke actually came from and how it built within the community, I feel like it could also be unfair for them to not be able to have an inside joke. You know, she was having an inside joke with fans. I'm sure we've all said jokes that were somewhat inappropriate in private between, you know, friends and family. But then I also agree that she said it in a public forum. So don't have these private ass conversations so publicly. Like, there's certain jokes that I would say in the company of me and my husband, but there's certain jokes that I would not say in front of his family. You know, like knowing your audience kind of vibes. But then I question, do we want these celebrities and influencers and public figures to be authentic and truly themselves, or do we want them to consistently hide themselves in fear of saying or doing something wrong? But contrasting that, Samira is a public figure with like 2.3 million followers on TikTok herself. So this isn't a situation where Cardi B's retaliation was her punching down on somebody or like a general member of the public. Samira is an influencer herself, a large one at that, whose criticisms hold weight. These weren't supposed to be fat jokes, I swear to God. I need to really work on my writing. However, what I was saying was her commentary, due to her own high-profile status with being somebody who's, you know, over that 1 million benchmark, could easily destroy another person's public perception. So there is a benefit to responding to a creator of that size, no matter whether the response is positive or negative. But one of the things it is that I noticed is that the chorus wasn't as loud as it used to be. The fat activists that had gained prominence within like the early 2010s, they weren't around to support Samira. I mean, yes, there were members of the fat acceptance community who supported her, but the big players of real influence, they were no longer there. Where was the Tess Holidays, the Ashley Grahams, the Virgie Tovars? Usually when fat phobia is rearing its ugly head, the quote-unquote factivists use their combined platform to support and uplift a member of their own community, especially if that member of their community is being attacked. And despite this story making news in mainstream media, the usual suspects were unusually quiet, which led me to ask, where did all of the fat activists go?
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
So in an attempt to formulate my own opinion on the Samira versus Cardi B discourse and whether it's fat phobic or can we even tell jokes anymore, I thought that I would try my best to look for some of the more bigger and more vocal voices within the fat acceptance community. Some people who would potentially help me understand the situation a lot better, but what I found was a completely barren land. If the plus size activists weren't dead, they were no longer focused on body positivity content as their main form of content creation. And on some rare occasions, some of these fat activists had undergone huge weight loss transformations and had just completely shifted focus from plus size content. So I decided to hit up one of my plus size activist friends to hear what it is that she had to say. I introduced her as a friend because she is a friend to me, but I feel like if you aren't in the fat acceptance community, you aren't going to know who an acting angel is. She is a pretty prolific person within the fat acceptance community, a very well-respected individual. She is a plus-size model. She is an actress. She is a writer. She has been in various different music videos for Jessie J, Mariah Carey, even Miley Cyrus. She has done so many amazing things in her career. She has been going at this for like so many years now. I think her career started in 2009. So I just want to give her the respect it is that she deserves within the community. And I also want to thank her once again for coming to chat to me. So have you had a chance to take a look at what exactly Cardi B said when she was talking about her merchandise?
I did. I don't think a lot of people, even I don't even think Cardi knows herself, that a lot of retailers order less of the larger sizes because they don't want to get stuck with, whatever. But typically they order mostly medium and large. And then with, that's the bulk of the order. And then like a couple, 2X, 3X, maybe 4X, but, maybe 3 to 4 of those larger sizes. So it'll look like they're selling out, but I mean, there just wasn't that many to begin with. I feel like a lot of people view Cardi kind of body positive.
To a degree.
So, they're like, yeah, that's my girl that, she's going to represent all sizes. She's got it up to 3X. And, it turns out she has the same insecurities as most people. So I mean,
yeah. Do you think that what she said when she said her comments about plus size people being the first to sell out in the 3X and in the 2X before the rest of the sizes, do you think that what she was saying was 100% fat phobic?
That's kind of hard for me to answer because and it's mostly because I'm biased about it. I feel like I want to believe that Cardi is not a crappy person like so many others in the industry. And, she never really gave me the whole, fat phobic, not liking other women type of thing. And this sort of was a surprise for me because I'm like, what in the fuck? Excuse my language, but what?
No, you can swear. Okay. Yeah. Well, for me personally, when I was listening to it, I feel like for me, I'm obviously like Jamaican, so I grew up in a Jamaican household, and pointing out people's insecurities is kind of their favorite thing to fucking do. So I wasn't overtly offended by it when I immediately heard it, but the way that my opinion is changing as I'm like making this story is like I'm now at the point where I'm thinking it is fat phobic, but her intention was never to be fat phobic. I think her intention was to have this inside joke, and it's now gone outside the parameters of her fan base, and now it's turned into Cardi B's is fat phobic. Cardi B's a fat phobe.
Right. I mean that's a cultural thing for both of you. She probably has the same where the love language is picking on each other, and a lot of people, especially now when you're trying to as you get older, develop your emotional intelligence, you realize maybe that's not the best way to show that you care. It's actually kind of hurtful because it's picking out the one thing that you have an issue with, or the couple things you have an issue with. And she had even mentioned, oh, people pick on me about my BBL. And I'm like, yeah, that's unfortunate. One, that you got it in the first place, because that just shows that you're insecure about your body and wanted it to look a certain way to attract a certain type of person. If we could move past that and actually be better people, that would be great. I'm not holding my breath though.
Not in this reality. So do you think that her flippant comments, because obviously it was like a discussion between her and her fans, they were having a giggle, do you think that her comments contribute to fat phobia now that the wider public have seen it? Do you think it could potentially contribute to other people's perception of fat people?
anytime somebody with a large platform gets out there and says something, it's going to be able to enable others to view fat people in that same way. So they're going to be like, well, Cardi B says it, and even though we think she's body positive, she said it's okay. So we're going to start picking on people because it's okay.
I mean, even more recently with like the big back phenomenon, that has only recently come into like the vernacular of people, like literally in the last like a year or 2 years.
Right.
Prior to then, I'd never heard the term big back, and I've been big my whole life, and I'd never heard that term. And now it seems to be like this colloquialism almost that people are using to describe, like, you know, if somebody eats too much or if somebody, you know, might be a little bit overweight, like it can encompass like all levels of fat. So in my head, I'm just like, I feel like fat phobia is slowly but surely kind of like creeping its way back into society in a way that it wasn't before. And I feel like the way that my head is, like the cogs in my head are turning, it's giving very much to me that like this new wave of influencers and public figures, celebrities doing Ozempic, weight loss surgeries, all of these kind of things is now kind of shifted the tables in the fat acceptance space, because I feel like now less people, I mean, for me personally, there are a lot of us within the space who've had surgery. There are a lot of us within the space who've had, you know, who've gone on to Ozempic and all of those kind of things, or semaglutide or whatever it is that you're using. There are a lot of us who have done all of those things. And I feel like now that it is so much more available to everybody, the general consensus is now being drawn that like nobody actually is okay being fat. And that was not something that I think people considered before. Because the whole point of like the fat acceptance community, especially for me, was like I needed to love myself regardless. I only have this one body, so whether I'm big, whether I'm small, whether I'm fat, whether I'm thin, it doesn't matter. I gotta live in it. And when I was living it and loving it at my biggest weight, I learned to live and love in it long before I even got to any other smaller weight. And now I'm in that in-between zone. I still live and love this body, so it doesn't change anything for me. I needed the fat acceptance community to love myself, right? And I just feel like the tides are turning, that like the consensus is now being drawn by the public, not necessarily the fat acceptance community, but by what they're seeing, that nobody actually wants to be fat. And nobody actually is comfortable being fat or accepts themselves fat. What do you think?
I mean, this is going to be wildly unpopular, but it is not comfortable being fat. The world is not made for fat people. But it doesn't mean that they or we deserve to be treated in a very shitty manner. Like that was the whole point. It wasn't like, I need you to find me attractive. I need you to do this, that, and the other. Like that wasn't the point. And like so many people are like, oh, fat acceptance is you wanting us to find you attractive and we don't. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. Like I don't find a lot of people attractive. I don't want you to like make that the only reason you respect me or treat me like a human being. Especially like women get it the worst because, you know, men just think of us as, you know, their baby mama, their carriers of this, that, and the other, their live-in housekeeper. Like that's all they see women as.
Yeah.
And to get them as like a coworker, a boss, you know, somebody who's a leader in their chosen field, like that is hard for men to acknowledge. So like they just lose their shit. And, you know, that's why I think we've like flipped back to all these men repealing all of these laws and wanting to get women to, you know, stay at home and take care of home and hearth and family.
And lose their vote.
Yeah. And then also that ties into the weight loss thing, because weight is a form of control. Like if you aren't acceptable to these men who are in power, then you're gonna be out on the street, or whatever they have planned for fat people. Like it's all tied in. I'm not very good at articulating it because I get like fucking mad.
No, it's okay to be angry because I think the world is changing, and that was like one of the things that Cardi B retaliated with, is she ended up saying like, we've got bigger fish to fry than this, guys. How do you feel about, because a lot of people feel like it's extremely dismissive for her to say like, I'm not going to read up on fat acceptance, I'm not going to follow what it is that you're telling me to do. We have bigger fish to fry. There is a man in office right now going buck fucking wild. Why are we doing this? Do you feel like that's dismissive of her to do?
And that's what she doesn't realize. And I think a lot of people need to realize, like I said, it's all tied in. If we're sitting here telling these politicians, okay, XYZ, because you're doing this is going to happen. And they refuse to listen. Like that's the same thing. If we're telling Cardi, if somebody tells her, this behavior, what you said, what you did, what you're allowing your fan base to do is going to hurt people. And instead of like, I'm sorry, let me learn about that. Let me get the emotional intelligence to figure that out and like do better for not just myself, but my children and everyone around me. She leans into like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to get down on me. Nobody asked you to get down on your knees. They just want you to like learn that you're hurting people. And if that is too hard for you, like, I'm sorry that's just like that's yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think from my perspective, the way that I saw that was like her saying that she didn't want to give like an unauthentic apology. You know what I mean? Because for me personally, I hate that like when, something, an influencer does or says something bad and immediately it's like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, guys. They're thinking brand deals. They're thinking connections. They're thinking public perception. They don't want to be viewed as that person. So they immediately detach. They immediately apologize. And the apology now means nothing because the apology is to save your ass, not because you've actually taken any time, not because you've actually reflected, not because even your stance has particularly changed. It's to save your ass. So for me, I'd much rather 4 or 5 months down the line, her turn around and go, yeah, that was kind of stupid of me. I really shouldn't have done that. Rather than like, I apologize. Yeah.
I would hope, because as people are like, oh, Cardi B sounds uneducated because of her accent or, where she's from, that was her environment. That's what she learned. But I don't ever see Cardi as being stupid or ignorant. I think she's very smart. She just doesn't articulate in the proper white way as everybody will say. And like, I don't mean it like that. So people don't come for me like I'm.
No, I know what you mean. How do you feel about public figures, people such as Cardi B, etc., clapping back when they get called out? Because regardless of the discussion of fat phobia, whether Cardi B was being fat phobic or whether it should be considered fat phobic, if a person comes for you, regardless of that other person's size, and this is not like a size joke, I'm literally talking about the size of the content creator, because Samira, I think, has excuse me, 2.3 million followers on TikTok. Yeah. So she's got a sizable following that I believe can have a great impact on public perception. Do you think it's fair for the people that she's criticizing and being critical of to clap back? Regardless of whether it's like positive or negative.
I mean, I want to say that, I would never do that myself. But I mean, like, the reason I liked you to begin with is because your name was Petty Page. So I am fully a petty person, and I'm all for being petty when it's warranted. And sometimes it is justifiable to clap back to people because they kind of step out of line.
Okay, so how do you feel about people like Meghan Trainor, Rebel Wilson, Adele, Jennifer Hudson, gosh, I'm just trying to think of other people, whatever, who have always been, you know, hyping up body positivity specifically, maybe not fat acceptance, but body positivity, loving oneself and being happy in one's body, now all seemingly drastically losing weight. Maybe over time through diet and exercise, or maybe through what Meghan Trainor has been open about, the use of Ozempic. How do you feel about the parallel of being body positive and loving oneself, but at the same time changing oneself?
Er. I mean, as somebody who has built my career on being plus size, like, I'm glad that there were the opportunities and whatnot, but the opportunities are limited. So, I mean, do you stay and struggle, or do you change and elevate? And I feel like, especially Rebel Wilson, she's still doing stuff, but I feel like she was more known as the funny fat girl, and it didn't really translate. I never found her funny anyway, but it didn't translate to her being skinny and funny, because she wasn't actually funny. It was more of a visual joke for her to be like the fat rolling around like on the fucking floor doing her whatever that impression was that she was doing, like I don't know.
Bizarre.
Anyway, I never found her funny, but she lost weight, and kudos to her. Like, if you can deal with the mental, I don't want to say exercise, but mental, like the mental fortitude to change your whole body to, you know, to a new, it's fucking crazy. Like, to change what you've known for a long time of your life, and then to become skinny. It's hard. It's hard for a lot of people to, you know, get used to.
What happened to the plus size community? It has changed a lot over the years, and some of the pioneers who were right at the forefront, they're just not here anymore. I remember people like, oh God, what's her name? Like, My Opinions May Offend You or something, the mixed race lady who makes like videos on like the fat acceptance community. She's made a lot of Tess Holiday videos. She used to have an abundance of content within the fat acceptance and the plus size community of things it is that she would criticize about the community. And more recently, in a video 3 months ago, she basically said, like, nobody's even talking about these people anymore because they don't really have as much of a chokehold on the community, because a lot of these people are losing weight and moving on. So what do you think? Like, what has happened to the plus size community? It definitely is a shadow of itself from when I was heavily involved.
It's full of raggedy bitches.
I don't think you said that. You said, fuck these bitches.
No, I mean, like, you're right. Like, I don't see a lot of these people there. And to be honest, I felt like there was a clique about it. You know, there was a certain of women who,
the in
like,
girls and then the outsiders. Yes, I remember it well.
Yeah, and a lot of them were mean girls, and you know, that shit came to bite them in the ass. I feel like they just ended up eating themselves. Like, it was a constant competition of who was the better, like, you know, and they're all
Sorry, I have to. The fat acceptance community eating themselves. That was prolific, babe. Prolific. But yeah, I think honestly that drives me to the next point, which is you have had a really good career off the back of body positivity, fat acceptance. You were in Miley Cyrus's music video. You have done so many amazing things that this community has, you know, uplifted and afforded you to have. Reflecting back on your time within the plus size community, What if there was a new girly coming into the space? Because the one thing about Samira, I don't know which way to pronounce it, to be honest, is that she is young. She is like 25. So she's still young. And the fat acceptance community that I know and that we knew, that's kind of, we're old bitches now. So there's no...
Yeah, I mean, like most of them in their late 30s, early 40s. Like I'm 52, so like definitely we're all like...
God, you look good. God damn. 52? Okay, that gagged me a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie, that gagged me a little bit. 52,
Yeah.
Wow. God damn.
There's wrinkles.
Barely, bitch, barely.
That's what being a hater gets you.
But so she's young, and there's no one else around like her. So like, what would your advice be to
I didn't
a new?
even know about her prior to the Cardi B thing. Like I'm so out of the loop on like the new girls in the fat acceptance sphere, and she is 25. She's big, black, and educated, and like I watched a couple of her videos, and I'm like, yes, she's knows what the fuck she's talking about, and I would definitely defer to her on a lot of these topics because like I am a foul-mouthed, inarticulate person a lot of the time. I'm a great writer, but speaking I'm terrible at. But I hope that she has a really long and strong career ahead of her. To get to 2-point-something million followers on TikTok, being a fat woman, being a black woman is a very impressive feat because social media is full of assholes and social media is run by assholes who constantly like, press down the reach of fat women and black women. So she's doing amazing, and I hope she does amazing things. I hope she learns from this that people ain't shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she already knew, and she probably expected the backlash from Cardi's fans, but it's just it's utterly ridiculous. Like
I think it's just blown into a whole different place. I mean, you've got like Angela Yee talking about it on radio and stuff. It's got to a ridiculous place. I don't think even she or even myself would have fathomed how big the story has actually gotten. So I don't blame her for being like, whoa, wasn't expecting all of this, but also, talk shit.
Yeah,
I think that's about it. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me, Angel. I really, really, really appreciate it. And yeah, all the best in the future and with your career and stuff like that. Is there anything it is that you want to plug or anything it is that you want to let people know that you're doing, any upcoming projects, or just your socials?
Just my socials and acting Angel on everything. Because I'm original like that.
I'll leave a link to all of your socials in the description box down below. Definitely go ahead and check that out. And without further ado, let's get straight into the rest of the video. Okay, so that was a lot to digest. No pun intended. But this also got me thinking about that bass song by Meghan Trainor, as well as her most recent transformation. I remember a time when people who identified as skinny were absolutely horrified by Meghan Trainor's song. They called it skinny shaming during a time where the body ideals had been changing to like a more curvaceous figure, like that became the beauty standard. Because my number one thing is maybe it just didn't work as a joke because Cardi B is not from the demographic that she is making the self-deprecating joke about. But then I thought to myself, well, if Cardi B can't make that joke because she herself is not fat, then why on earth was it okay for Meghan Trainor to make jokes and pun lyrics towards a demographic that she's not a part of? Which led me to the question, if it was okay for Meghan Trainor to quote unquote shame a particular body type, why is it not okay when it's the opposing way round from a different voice?
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, She ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
Okay, so we all know who Meghan Trainor is. She is the woman who went 4 times platinum for her breakout single, All About That Bass. However, there was many people who felt as if the lyrics to All About That Bass were extremely skinny phobic, or at least shaming to skinny people. Some of the lyrics read as follows. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do. Cause I got that boom boom that all the boys chase, and all the right junk in all the right places. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't worry about your size. She says boys like a little more booty to hold at night. You know, I won't be no stick figure silicone Barbie doll. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along. I'm bringing booty back. Go ahead and tell them skinny bitches that. Now, it's not just me being like, I don't know, finicky or nitpicky, I guess, by saying that like a lot of people genuinely believe that this was skinny shaming at the time. And the general response from women, like the greater scale of women was like, shut the hell up. No, it's not. It's our time now and you guys just can't take it. But here's a clip from a content creator called Shazu Haim. I think that's how you pronounce their name. And this is a video from October 2nd, 2014, around the time that All About That Bass came out, speaking about how the words it is that Meghan Trainor had been saying was negatively detrimental to people who had a different size or frame. Take a look.
The thing I don't like about this song is that basically she's saying that the way she looks is the way to look. I don't really think that it's fair for this to become a competition, that one body type is better than the other. And just being a thin person myself, I've never really felt this kind of acceptance from people because of my size. I've always kind of felt like, you need to eat a cheeseburger. Are you like anorexic or something? She needs to go to a doctor. Really frustrates me when I go on Facebook and I'll see posts from my friends and they'll be like, men like meat, bones are for dogs. I've seen that countless times and it's really, really upsetting. And it's okay to call somebody anorexic, but it's not okay to call somebody fat. And I just don't think that this double standard is acceptable, and I think that people should really stop. If you can't call somebody fat, don't call somebody anorexic. It's equally as offensive.
But if it wasn't obvious that people were picking up on the skinny shaming rhetoric, we also have this video by Bart Barker. If you guys don't know about Bart Barker was like huge in the early 2010s. He used to make parodies of extremely popular and viral songs. And Meghan Trainor was one of the people who experienced a Bart Barker parody. And he sings about hating skinny girls as he changes the lyrics in this parody. Take a look.
Because this song's all about being big, suck a dick, thin people. If you are super thin, you're evil. This catchy tune's message should have been, we're equal, but it shames thin women, men.
We also have a young lady called Natalie Valencia who ended up becoming viral herself for rewording the lyrics to All About That Bass in order to make it more body positive and affirmative for all people, no matter what size. Because again, many people were feeling as if Meghan Trainor's lyrics was extremely wrong and skinny shaming.
20-year-old Natty Valencia is a rising singer-songwriter currently based in Toronto, raised in St. Albert. A recent parody she recorded and posted on YouTube has attracted over 500,000 hits. Natty's lyrics relate to the ongoing issue of adolescent and teenage body image.
Cause you know it's not about your waist, about your waist. Don't settle for a guy who has no taste, don't settle.
Many people identify with the sensitivities and insecurities of body shaming.
A lot of things would happen in my mind, like, oh, well, you know, if I'm not big enough, if I'm not tall enough, if I don't have these beautiful curves that are always shown in the media, that's what I had to look up to. And I felt like I wasn't good enough or like pretty enough.
However, in my interview with Angel, she actually brought me in to think about something different. For instance, she stated that she doesn't think it was necessarily skinny shaming, that it was more so pick-me energy, as she was trying to appeal to the male gaze throughout the song. In All About That Bass, she has the lyrics that I'm not no size 2. My mama told me like something to hold at night. I won't be no silicone stick figure Barbie doll. And then I remember around the time the song came out, I think it was like 2014 or something like that. There was a lot of skinny bitches, love those hoes, a lot of skinny bitches who turned around and was like, this is skinny phobic. And I remember at the time when these girls were coming out saying this is so skinny phobic, we were like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. It's not skinny phobic. There's no such thing. You aren't oppressed. Like, literally, that was the conversation that was being had that day. And now I'm looking back retrospectively and I'm like, well, hold on. If she can't make a self-deprecating joke about one demographic, as in Cardi B can't make a self-deprecating joke on behalf of a community that she's not a part of, why in the hell was Meghan Trainor allowed to say all that stuff about, you know, skinny stick figure and all of this kind of stuff about people who don't look like her?
I mean, again, I feel like it's punching down because, you know, you're supposed to support women and support all sizes and colors and, you know, all variations that we come in. So I don't know that there's really like skinny phobia, but there is a faction of women who don't like other women. And it's usually like,
oh, okay. So you're saying this ain't even about big or thin or blah blah. This is pick me.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
even a lot of the song, if you like listen to the lyrics, it's very much catering to the male gaze as well. Like
Yes.
he wants a little something to hold at night, and it's like, who gives a fuck about him? How do you feel about yourself? Fuck that guy. So yeah, that's very interesting concept. I like that. I like that answer. And when I went back and listened to the lyrics, it did definitely change my perspective. Because I got that boom boom that all the boys chase and all the right junks in all the right places. Yeah, my mama told me, don't worry about your size. She says the boys like a little more booty to hold at night. So then I went and had a look at some interviews from Meghan Trainor around that time to see what it is that she had to say about her song and the lyrics and the controversy it is that it brought. There was one interview by Cosmo where she said this.
What is it like to date, given the position that you're in now?
I don't know, because I'm single. I can't find a boy who wants to date me.
And another interview in 4Music where she said this.
They also say that I'm only speaking of what men want because of that one line, boys like booty to hold at night. But I just thought it was a fun way to say I love myself, and I bet boys do too.
So it's quite clear that, yes, a lot of this was, you know, very pick-me energy and maybe less about the body shaming and more so about wanting to be chosen by a boy. But again, like the Cardi B situation in isolation, yes, it's skinny phobic, but with context and knowing that it's more so about appealing to male gaze, it's less impactful when you put it with context. But then this just reminded me of another situation to do with Meghan Trainor. She ended up having an incident some years ago to do with her song Me Too, where she posted the music video for it and then realized in hindsight that like her figure had been altered for the music video. So she told Vivo that she wanted the music video to be restored to her original frame and her original figure, and was kind of somewhat angry at her management for allowing this to happen.
When did you first know that something...
I noticed, I worked so hard on this video. It was a 22-hour shoot, and my family was editing it with me because we were on this promo trip, so we're busy every day, but we looked at everything. I even like shaved off mole hair. I did everything, and I examined it, and then when I was up, I saw my fans posting clips of this dance scene, and I was like, why are the fans messing with my waist? Mm-hmm. And like, I was like, why are they doing that? And then I looked at my video, I was like, that's my own video. And my glam squad was like, that's not your waist. And I was like, I know that's not my waist. They made me skinnier than the dancers next to me who are dancers.
So the editor.
I love the director. I love this video, and we're so proud of this. But I had to call up the head of Vivo and say, take it down. That's not me. I need to fix this now as soon as I can.
But now knowing that Meghan Trainor is now on weight loss medication and is changing the lyrics to even her song all about that bass. By singing the first lyrics instead of, yeah, it's pretty clear I ain't no size 2. It's, yeah, it's pretty clear I got some new boobs. But knowing all of this about Meghan Trainor now, knowing with the drugs and all of that kind of stuff, like, was she ever comfortable in her own body? Or was body positivity a coping mechanism, a way for her to actually just deal with the way it is that she felt about herself? Because Meghan Trainor, in like previous interviews, the more I started digging, was never really holding back when it came to speaking about her own body image issues.
I wrote the song to help people be comfortable in their own skin. I wrote it for me because I wasn't comfortable. When I wrote it, I was like, this is what I wish I said and sounded like and felt. So now singing it every day, you can probably see I do feel like that. And it's helped me and it's helped a bunch of people. But yeah, the goal wasn't to bash skinny people. Yeah. No.
I mean, she actually ended up getting quite a bit of flack for an interview it is that she ended up doing, where she stated that she attempted anorexia but just couldn't do it.
How did it affect you when you were in school? Like, I know growing up, I had an eating disorder.
I wasn't strong enough to have an eating disorder, actually. I tried to go anorexic for a good 3 hours. I ate ice and celery, but that's not even anorexic. And I quit. I was like, "Ma, can you make me a sandwich?" Like, immediately. And she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just a little lightheaded." But I was too hungry. I didn't care. I wanted pizza instead of starving myself.
This led to Demi Lovato losing her ever-loving shit on social media, rightfully so, as a person who's dealt with eating disorders herself, saying, like, this is a mental disorder. This is not a choice. What are you talking about?
Having an eating disorder doesn't show strength. Strength is when you are able to overcome your demons after being sick and tired for so long. There's a wide misconception that anorexia or bulimia is a choice. You often hear people say things like, why doesn't she just start eating or even just stop throwing up? And I couldn't agree more with this statement.
So reversing back to the Me Too controversy, is it a potential that Meghan actually was okay with those changes that was made in the music video, but then quickly had to backtrack when her fans found out and got angry that her frame had been changed, despite her constantly championing body positivity and loving oneself? Were they disappointed in her and that's what spearheaded it? I don't know, but it definitely does change the way that I feel about that controversy looking back now. Because now Meghan is telling Page Six that she has biohacked her body.
The day before her social media confession, Meghan told Entertainment Tonight that science is the secret to her new look.
I'm trying to biohack my body. So anything that'll help me age backwards, I'm into it.
And now so many different people who have used body positivity as part of their branding are losing a significant amount of weight. Like, Meghan isn't the only one. It's just that Meghan is the one that has made the most interesting choices when it comes to her own career. So is it just simply a case that Cardi B can't make fat jokes because she is skinny? Well, honestly, girl, I still don't know. I still don't know where I stand. So let's get into my thoughts on this entire situation.
I'm a whole vibe, I'm a mood. They see I ate it up like food. She came, she ate, and she ain't leave no crumbs up on the plate.
When I first came into the influencer, quote-unquote influencer space, I was originally a plus-size model. I did modeling and promotion for various different companies, primarily lingerie brands, and I was heavily into the fat acceptance community. I even got nominated for a plus-size award for Best New Blog for one of my blogs, BBU. Yes, I used to write a blog where I would speak about fat acceptance, body positivity, and things of that nature. I was fully involved. I was in the trenches, but then something happened. I was 460 pounds at my biggest and struggling to conceive. So I made the decision to have weight loss surgery and I dropped around 200 pounds. And then boom, a bitch got pregnant twice, back to back. Yeah, so suck it, Ethan Klein. Shit can happen. Fuck you mean. Anyway, around that time, I lost a lot of support from the fat acceptance community by making a decision for my health and my own fertility. I even had messages from ex-fans of mine in the past who literally said that, like, I've had to unfollow you or unsubscribe or whatever it is because you're triggering me. Your weight loss is triggering me. However, today's story isn't about me. It's about how I view the fat acceptance community. I remember telling one person that fat acceptance was a tool. I don't believe that shaming people into losing or gaining weight is for everybody. I mean, I guess some people can feel the shame and want to work on themselves, but I know for myself, I truly believe that shaming myself led me to way more harmful habits than loving myself. I loved myself when I was bigger. So when the decision came to make myself smaller, smaller, I didn't feel like I was pouring from an empty cup. I was filling my cup with more love, not just love in my physical self, but love in my mental self, love in the vessel it is that I have that I cannot change. Like, I can't change what body I have. So I started living in my body instead of existing in it. And once I had that tool of learning to just live and enjoy life, I was living regardless. Samira is a beautiful and an extremely talented woman, and her growth and visibility on social media is a testament to her nature. That she's a lovable person that gives people hope that you don't just have to exist, you can live. You can do that 5K. You can live fulfilling lives. Cardi B's joke, while self-deprecating, was self-deprecating to a marginalized community of which she has no affiliation to. There is a big difference between a fat bitch making a fat joke and a skinny bitch making a fat joke. It holds a different weight, excuse my pun, due to the systemic oppression it is that one particular community has faced. However, I do believe that Cardi is right in stating that she is not going to be giving an apology. I hate this whole narrative of Cardi B needs to apologize, or just anybody needs to apologize about anything in general. I would much rather an apology from somebody 10 years later with learned lessons and personal growth than an immediate apology with no authenticity in fear of loss. Like, if you're gonna have to fear losing your fans, losing your friends, losing your brands, losing opportunity, and that's the reason you apologize to me, I want to hear it. I don't want your apology. However, with the rise of GLP-1 medications, semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, all of that kind of stuff, it's kind of killed the plus size community, kind of killed the fat acceptance community. And now Samira is one of the very few vocal advocates. Because the question I have, it's still remaining, even though I've tried my best to get through it in this video, but the question is that I still have remaining is, if we have access to Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, and all these GLP-1 medications, doesn't it kind of spiral back to the notion that being fat is a choice? Because we now have options. And many, once the option arose, took that opportunity, girl. Less people care about size inclusivity in stores and in merchandise because everybody's waistlines are getting smaller. We are going to see eventually plus size clothing become more expensive as being plus size becomes more niche. So because of modern medicine, Samira is going to be continuously fighting the beast of capitalism. And in a time where people's fundamental human rights are being taken away, I do completely understand Cardi B when she says that there are bigger fish to fry. So when people are saying stuff like it's not that deep, it isn't because fat phobia isn't an important issue. It's just that it's not that important right now, especially over a flippant comment which, whilst inappropriate and fatphobic in isolation, really doesn't change anything at all. And besides a person's hurt feelings, it doesn't change anything of real value. Anyway, that is about it from me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I just thought it would be interesting to take a look at like the fat acceptance community and find out where the hell these girls have gone. Like literally, I don't know what's happened. I feel like weight loss drugs have just made either you've gone skinny or you just aren't associated with that community anymore. I don't know where the fat acceptance girlies have gone. And it made me feel bad to a degree for Samira, because Samira's doing, like, she's fighting, she's holding on to her convictions in this fight alone. Nobody's backing her. But weight loss medications are now out there, and it seems like everybody and their sister is on them. If you're on a weight loss medication, what are you on? Have you had success with it? Do you think that there needs to be more studies into this? Because surgeries, they leave scars and they can be extremely invasive. So I understand why the weight loss medications can seem as a much better option for a lot of people. But I don't know. And also, like, I'm at a point now where it's like, can we not have a joke and a kiki and a haha? Like, I hear jokes that I feel are inappropriate, but I just don't laugh at them, or I don't enjoy that person's kind of humor, and I keep it pushing. I don't know, I just feel like I understand the group of people who are like, can we not laugh about anything anymore? Can we not have a joke? Because I'm a plus size person, and I personally was not offended. I found it just as funny as she did. But again, if it's not for you, it's not for you. I don't know what to say. But with that being said, I just wanted to say, make sure that you guys go and follow my Patreon. I will leave it in the link in the description box down below, or you can become a member. It's the same thing, really, same price. Over there, I have been uploading a lot of exclusive content, including the full version of the interview it is that I did with an acting angel. If you want to know more about her, I will leave all of her details in the description box down below also. But if you want to see the full interview and everything it is that we talked about, as well as some stuff to do with other members of the fat acceptance community that we don't like, definitely go ahead and check that out. It will all be down in the description box down below. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening. Make sure you go over to the podcast channel as well. We're producing a new episode in the next 2 days, so definitely go and look out for that. With that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is you're doing. And until next time, you beautiful, amazing, badass bitches. Honk, honk. It's been Paige. Bye.